gamers! Welcome back to another episode of Red Seal Gaming Presents. Today we have another community leader with us, our good friend K-Toff, who is pretty much the community leader for all things Star Wars here at Red Seal Gaming. And at Red Seal Gaming, you have me, the Primarch, you have my buddy Sal,
Long live the Empire.
and we have my buddy Christopher.
Hello there.
And here he is, the
my
myth,
God.
the man, the myth, the
What's
legend,
happening?
K-Toff.
What am I doing here?
the cheater extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire.
K-Toff Filthy Casuals leader, Christoph, also affectionately known as K-Toff.
Yeah.
And that's how I think how we pretty much address you all the time anyway. So
K-Toff or Toff.
So K-Toff, welcome back
Toffee cakes.
to our podcast.
Thank you
Toffee
for
cakes.
having me again.
Yeah. As you can see, we don't learn from our mistakes.
Yeah, I was going to say his Greek name is Tophocles.
Toffee
Toffee cakes. Oh,
Toffee
boy.
cakes. He probably is the only man in the store that could rival me with the amount of nicknames he has. So that's probably
Yeah, I think
probably a good thing because it's usually a sign of affection. So not always good affection though, but it is definitely a sign of affection.
Moving on.
Yeah. So as we always like to start here with our community leads, we like to know how you have traversed this long road through gaming. What started you into your road of gaming, and then eventually what led you to Red Seal?
Yeah. So I started off as like most kids my age, video games, playing a lot of video games, especially fighting games. That was like the biggest thing for me.
Street Fighter, Combat,
Soul
Tekken.
Calibur were the big ones for me.
Soul Calibur, okay.
Soul Calibur, yeah. Like my cousins, used to play with like my family a lot. And then during high school and college, I lived actually, I think we talked about this last time too, but in high school, I lived right next to an arcade called 8 on the Break, which is still there to this day, by the way.
Which is one of JoJo's new spots because JoJo's become a crazy
Oh,
pinball
that's the
gamer.
pinball one, yeah.
So yeah, I was literally there every time that I had a reason to step outside of my house. I would take a pit stop over at 8 on the Break. So
get some in.
started playing fighting game tournaments there. Got like super competitive doing that. And then through college, and then after college, started playing more board games, more tabletop games. And then I got into my one friend. I'll shout him out, Dexter. He said, "Dude, I know you like Star Wars. There's this game called X-Wing."
Oh.
It's like you don't have to paint anything. It's a miniature game.
Shout out Dexter.
And basically, that was like first edition too. It was like basically he pitched it to me like it was chess, but with Star Wars ships.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
I can feel it. I feel it.
I initially liked it. I played it and I kind of bought myself a starter kit and then kind of put it on the shelf subsequently. This is during first edition. And then like 2018, 2019, we PAX Unplugged. So if nobody knows what that is, that's one of like the big board game conventions. Me and my group of friends, we had like regular board game nights. So we're like, let's do this convention thing. You know, it'll be fun. We made a weekend of it in Philadelphia. And we went down there, and then I saw this huge space, this tournament space for X-Wing. I'm like, I know this game.
Yeah.
And we went over
Massive.
there, and then we saw all this like, the energy in that spot, seeing people with like all these cool templates and playing the game, I was instantly hooked. And then after that, I segued that into we got all of our friends to start playing the game, and that's what started my miniature career, my tabletop gaming career.
Obsession.
Yeah.
Were you playing any card games during that time at all?
I played Magic.
or whatever?
I played Magic when I was a kid.
Okay.
And I dabbled with it in college,
Mhm.
you know, but I never we did get super into it, but then I ended up selling all my stuff.
Yeah, it seems like in my experience with you as you're a proprietor, I've noticed that you do dip into a card game, but you won't stay. But the mini game is more of your vibe for sure.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Especially like I gravitate more towards competitive games. I like to compete, as you know. I do like a lot of tournaments. I'll travel for it too, and like for card games, it's just not for me personally. It's just not my thing.
It happens. It's not a big.
I tried a little bit with Lorcana,
Yeah.
but that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
You know, but
I knew
still
it
great
wasn't.
game.
I knew it was in your wheelhouse when we got Star Wars Unlimited in, and you
I still
only.
love that game.
I know, but you only like kind of dipped your toe in it.
Yeah.
You didn't go hardcore. I was like, all right, Toph's just a mini guy,
Yeah.
and it happens.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think Sal and I would probably call ourselves more mini guys than card games guys. I still dabble in card games because I enjoy them for sure. but minis always seem to really grab my heart sometimes
the
when I
same
get
boat.
into when I get into it. You know,
Yeah.
like, if you give me some new dwarf minis and I'm in,
Something that I've come to notice, especially between playing card games and miniature games, quote unquote, competitively, is that like the people who usually typically play these like tabletop miniature games, even the competitive scene, the competitive community, it's a different vibe. Like they're much. I feel. I don't know. I'm like, it's just personal experience, really. But they feel more welcoming to me. You know,
In a
like,
miniatures
in the
environment.
competitive aspect.
Okay.
Interesting.
Only like it's a lot more people who play miniature games competitively, especially the ones that I play. I haven't played Warhammer, but like the miniature games that I play that I guess we'll get into later. They're even though they are competitive, even though some of the events are competitive, they still feel casual because people are still like having fun. They just want to come to roll dice. You know,
I could probably relate a little bit to what you're talking about in playing card games competitively. I've seen some of the dark side of competing with a card game, especially when guys are trying to manipulate maybe a top 8, and I'll take a tie, I'll take a draw, I'll take you don't do that with mini games.
Yeah,
like mini games, I just I want to be on a table, I want to roll the dice. I'm not gonna
typically
maneuver to. I just want to win.
Yeah,
right. And just, I want to compete.
Yeah,
So. From that aspect, I totally understand what you're saying, and why you could be attracted more to competitive. On top of that, you get to roll dice.
Well, I think
rolling dice.
We
just,
talked about that too. I think that's the quantifying feature. Sometimes when you play card games, you know what you want your deck to do. So there really isn't an RNG, but you could do everything you want with your miniatures, but you still have the probability of dice. So you still have to throw dice at something, and you could just have the best plans laid out, and you're not rolling what you need to get. So I always find that like there's that like point in a miniature person player has to like shut off that. Hey, I'm just gonna throw it to the wind.
It's a dice game,
and it's a dice game. And your best laid plan strategy, like in war, are sometimes get a wrinkle in it. So I find that's like there's that. So I find miniature players are a little more not joyous, but I understand that in the sense that like you're giving into the winds of magic or the winds of
but
change.
not to say that there isn't like a lot of strategy that goes into like the risk management and mitigation of it too, because positioning yourself to win despite dice is a thing, especially in like a lot of miniature games, and a lot of miniature war gamers can attest to that too, especially the competitive ones.
And Toff will get himself in that position, but the dice are no problem. So like that's a whole different thing.
If he does his homework and puts himself in the optimal position where the dice are as required to win as usual, he'll just simply power through with a couple of crits and everything will be fine. So, K-Toff does have some good dice luck. I mean, I
do.
With especially specifically with the 8-sided, whereas I'm more of a 6-sided kind of guy. So I tend to get more luck on my 6-sided dice than you'd probably get on your 8-sided. So in that way, we're probably similar.
Yeah.
I've been rolling 6s for forever, so I get where that's coming from. So all right, so now we know a little bit of your background. Let's find out how you came to find the seal. How did you stumble into Red Seal? How did you stumble into this, what is now our studio, but what used to be our first store?
Just thinking about the memories here. At any rate,
you were probably playing X-Wing right where you're standing.
Right
Toff is OG,
right
so he's in RSG1 where we're filming, and he came here first. It's the first time I met him here.
In the middle of where a table would have been.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's hiked up with the paint cans.
Paint cans. Only the OGs know the paint cans.
The OGs know about the paint cans.
We were trying to elevate it off the table because we didn't have true gaming tables. We only had the white.
You needed
folding
space
tables.
to put your stuff, and we didn't have that option. So
that was like, that's a great idea. And we
core memory there.
A bunch of empty paint cans from the painting we had done in the store.
They got miles, those cans. Let me tell you, oh my God.
Yeah. I even went out and bought like empty paint cans later on because we needed more. Because eventually, we started having like, the length of the store in X-Wing tables. We had the length of the store in Warhammer tables. So, and we were elevating, so we needed the paint cans to do that. So how did you come to paint can gaming at Red Seal Gaming?
And gaming. So it was actually so you guys I think opened up like right after the pandemic.
Right during September 2020.
Yep. So I had been playing X-Wing for about 2 years by then. We had done a lot of like the online tournaments and all that. I would go play at another local store in Somerset. They've since closed, unfortunately. But we heard from it was a Facebook page, And I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly, but I think it was Tage.
Okay.
If you remember Tage.
Yeah,
Yep.
Tage
Shout out
was,
to Tage.
yeah,
Shout out
Tage
to
was
Tage.
here before you. Yeah.
Yeah, so on the Facebook page of that old store, they're like, you guys should come here. He was like talking about that you guys had like a budding X-Wing scene. And me and my friends,
Just
the
Came in
KFC
and
guys,
dropped
shout out,
everybody.
shout out to my KFC crew.
because you guys came in and pretty much just dominated all my casuals. Like, what the hell? We're in here like playing some.
We're playing Tiddlywinks and he's playing chess.
Yeah, we were playing the multiplayer format mostly too. Like, to
Oh,
try
we
to
did
get
a lot of
people-
Aces High to get
Aces High,
people
yeah.
started because,
Yeah.
like, you know,
But yeah, so we're like, all right, let's and this, you guys are so much closer to us than that other store too.
Okay.
So we're like, all right, let's just go here, hang out, and just chill out and play some X-Wing games. So we started coming, we started playing X-Wing games, and I mean, that's really how we found your store, honestly. You guys, like, post-pandemic were like here. You guys were here. There was like a community, a consistent community too. And we were like, okay, like, even, yes, I joke around that we came to, like, you know, club baby seals, but it really wasn't like.
You came here to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and you were all out of bubble gum. Is that what you're telling me? Okay, I get
But
you.
we love to teach people, like,
Yes.
like Baron and Tom. Shout outs to them. Mark, one of our other ones, too. We love to teach people. We love to get better with each other. And when we saw that there was a community here, we wanted to help grow it. And it also helped that you were here, because the minute that we walked in, you were so welcoming to us. And it was just like almost as if we were friends, like that we had been friends for like a while.
So I fooled you.
Yeah, 100%. I got fooled. I got catfished. Yeah.
Dan's
got
paint
catfish.
can basement.
I
Yeah,
got
we're
Fake
here.
can basement.
Little did we know.
Yeah. Let's not forget, since you're mentioning shout outs, let's not forget our favorite Coast Guard guy.
Oh, Zach.
Dude, he would love this shout out right now.
I would love to shout out Zach, because Zach, you speak of the community, and he was one of those guys that loved X-Wing and wanted the community to grow, and he did everything he could to teach people and engage people in it, and that helped. He was another factor in growing the community here at this.
Him and actually Tyler too.
Yep.
Tyler,
Tyler got his whole little crew involved there.
but he would teach people. He would literally come in just to teach people, like, the game, and all his friends too. And so, like, between, like, the three of us, really, and
Tyler,
and
Caleb, Ariana, Shane,
Aces Abysmal.
Aces Abysmal. Shout out to Aces Abysmal. Yeah.
Like, between them, like, we just grew such a huge community from here, you know.
Think about it. You literally smashed like three things together. It was like the budding community. You came in with your crew. Tyler started to bring like him and that crew together, and then boom, and then outside forces started coming in because you helped us start running events.
Yeah.
You know, and then the rest is history.
Yeah, by the time we moved to the second store, it was even more space. You had more opportunity to have tables for that event.
And you speak of the move to the second store, we opened on X-Wing night.
Yeah.
That was the first day.
That was so much
So if you
fun.
look at some of the pictures of the first move, it was X-Wing night that night. And we still had the wooden.
I was going to say the first one, there was no product on the shelf.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there was no product on the shelf. We set up some tables in the middle of the store and just played X-Wing there
And
because
we had the one table that we got
getting
from Matt.
ready to move over there.
Yeah, Matt gave you those temporary wooden tables.
Yeah.
But they were 4x4s. I think we put them together
We put them together,
make
and
like a pseudo table.
and then we had the one table at open that was now the I mean, obviously there's been other iterations, but we had the one table and a bunch of pseudos, and then we would eventually later on, Matt would make us some more tables with the inserts, and we would use the inserts, and you guys would fill the store.
We would fill the store. Yeah. It was amazing.
I have a very fond memory of I played Baron right in this store, pretty much 15 feet away from where we're standing towards the front window of the store, and I think that was like the first time I had met. I think I had already met you, but that was the first time I met Baron, and I remember just playing that game, and I was like, and it was just a fun, super fun game. Like, you know, it was tough, and he's a tough player. Baron, you fly very well. You should come back and fly a little bit. But
Please, Baron.
please, we want you.
I haven't seen Baron in a while. You know, I definitely miss him. I miss his personality. He was fun to play with.
Yeah.
He also didn't mind like thematic lists too. Sometimes
He had fun. He
loved to just roll dice.
just roll dice.
roll
Yeah.
dice. But I remember that fondly, and I remember like these guys are gonna help. These guys are gonna help grow X-Wing, and then you were able to get product too. Is at the time when X-Wing was kind of like we went from first edition, second edition, black boxes, and then people were like, oh, new flavor, way to play the game. So Yeah, I remember that transition going to the new store too. It was like seeing all those people playing X-Wing. It was like
it was a sight.
really
for
cool.
Sure.
It just it proves another point. You give them the place to play, and they'll show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, case in point, Shatterpoint.
Yeah.
All right. So Toff has obviously with the troubles that X-Wing has gone through over the years, so we won't rehash that again because
It's now a community-driven game. We all know. So
yeah, which they're doing well with it too.
Yeah,
by the
we
way,
had,
I don't want to blow smoke at them. They're definitely doing. There's people that love the game and they're going to try to keep it. We've actually had a couple of events of that as
Yeah,
ready.
we actually had an event this past weekend. I don't know when this is gonna go up, but like we had an event on what's the date?
28th, 29th? No, 28th.
28th, yeah. Which is a squadron championship, which was an official OP event, organized play event with the new community driven
X-Wing Alliance.
Yeah, X-Wing Alliance, XWA, shout outs to them. So I have the kits and everything. Well, the kits are coming, but whatever.
Yeah.
At any rate, long story. But yeah, that was an official event, and
which you did on Saturday,
we did on.
and then
Oh no, I'm sorry. No, that was actually
the week
earlier.
before.
Sorry, I'm thinking
it was
about
the week
a different
before
tournament. It was the
because
week
you got
before.
Shatterpoint on your brain because you've been coming to my store too much now. It seems that's the problem.
not a bad thing.
That's the problem because
So
he
dual
was
community lead.
because on
Yeah,
the 29th,
29th was Shatterpoint.
which I unfortunately wasn't there because I was having. Shout out to my wife, 29 years, babe, love you, good job,
Yeah, congrats.
congrats,
Don't
thank you,
come
thank
to
you.
the store on your wedding anniversary.
Don't come to the store on the wedding anniversary. I didn't even think about going to the store
Not even
on my
a
wedding
mistake.
anniversary. Wink, wink. But you had run the Shatterpoint event
Yeah.
despite the heat because we were having a little AC problems on Sunday,
Everyone was a good
and it
sport
also
about it.
was like 107 degrees. I think on
Yeah.
this Sunday.
The coaxium was out.
Yeah,
But yeah, a couple
was
of
out.
crazy things with that Shatterpoint event. So we actually hit up to 15, which one of the big Northeast tournament organizers, Matt, shout out to Matt too, because he actually helped us to bring some of the terrain.
excellent.
He was telling me like there's some grand tournaments that don't even hit that number. You know?
Really?
Yeah, like so like he was just like saying how impressed he was with our community and everything that we were growing it there at the store. But yeah, we had 15 players, which is insane, and I'm extremely grateful and thankful for everybody that came. But yeah, I mean the community at Shatterpoint, we've been steadily growing it. I'm still working on it on getting like organizing certain more stuff, but yeah, the tournament was amazing despite the bit of heat.
The bit,
The hot
and I
day.
even went out of my way to thank them.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh yeah, it was warm, it was hot, but we had fun."
Yeah,
And that's all that really matters in the end. So
what was cool too is I don't know if you guys saw it in the pictures, but I did post it. Like Matt, he brought and he also ran ACO, which was the weekend prior, I believe, or 2 weekends prior, whatever. But for each mat, he had a themed mat. Like one was Crate, one was Illum, right?
Nice.
And then he had a little blurb on
Oh,
each.
I didn't even notice the
Yeah.
blurbs. I
Oh.
guess
You
I didn't
look at
notice it in the picture.
I
Yeah,
posted it in the picture so you guys can look
Thematic
at
blurb.
it. So it's like cool because like
I'll make sure I get them to John so he can post what we're talking
it's
about
very,
right now.
very
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, so since this was a casual event, we wanted people to be kind of immersed in their play,
Mhm.
and that just added to it. You know, it added a little bit of extra depth and fun to the game. You know, so it was such a fun day.
Yeah, like anytime you can add a little RP element to any game you're
why
playing, it
not,
makes it
right?
better. Like we were talking about with the Outer Rim, it has the blurbs on the cards, and when we
Yeah.
play Waterdeep, it has the little blurbs on the card. So if you're throwing blurbs on the mat, and
It's
then
just so cool.
it just makes
Blurbs
it
help. Like,
Blurbs help.
Blurbs help.
We love the blurbs. More blurbs, please.
So going forward, obviously, we'll probably love to have some more events at the store.
Yeah.
That's the plan going forward. In the meantime, Sal is our pretty much our grill master here.
Oh, I'm gonna get grilled.
Not grilled. I always have the good questions.
He's got good questions.
Well, what's
Medium
the?
rare,
yeah.
please.
Yeah,
I mean, outside before these questions, like, all right, so what was your transition from like? So X-Wing went into that state where like we lost players because the game kind of went away in its official status. What drove you to Shatterpoint? What was the draw there?
So I was actually playing like if anybody knows me when I play at Red Seal, like everyone's always trying to get me to try to play games, and I'm always looking for more games to play if I can. Like I bought into Marvel Crisis Protocol a while back, and I love that game too. That game is amazing. So I was playing that for a little bit, but you know me, I'm a Star Wars guy.
Yeah, we love
you know. So when they announced Shatterpoint, I was like, all right, this is kind of cool. And even though I was still playing X-Wing competitively, I was like, all right, this is just like MCP. I know how to play MCP, but this is with Star Wars characters. Like that's right up my alley. So I bought the starter kit. It kind of sat for a little bit because I was still, that was like I think in the middle of like the X-Wing like OP season too. So I was like trying to concentrate on that. But then when that finished up, I was like, all right, I started to get into like painting and building some of it. And then I think the one thing that's really, really sold me was when Mandalorian came out, because he's like literally one of my favorite characters. Him and Grogu.
Him and Grogu were there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's what kind of propelled me into starting to play Shatterpoint more. And then, because like you can play like Mandalorians all together and stuff like that. But yeah, that's really what did it for me. And then like I just never looked back. I as much as I do love Marvel Crisis Protocol, like something about Shatterpoint like really clicked with me, and so that's why I kind of gravitated more towards that
than the MCP.
Than MCP, yeah.
I mean, it is nice too because it is a smaller footprint game. Once again, like aside from you're adding terrain, it's not as big as Legion. You're not having a larger force. That's one of I think the highlights of Shatterpoint is because it's a smaller miniature force. And we always talked about how the game plays like. For me, it always felt like the zoom in on the hero in the Clone Wars episodes where it like the squaring off of Anakin against Asajj, and like it had that feel.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the premise of the game gives you that feel where you're not playing the larger part of the army, but like what you said, it's easy. You got a few miniatures.
It's Saturday morning Shatterpoint is what we call it.
Saturday
like
morning
like it's like your Saturday morning Star Wars cartoon, but Rebel.
You mean
Clone Wars.
Madawan, Red Seal Gaming?
Madawan, Red Seal Gaming,
Red Seal
Madawan,
Gaming,
New
yeah.
Jersey. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Well, a segue question then would be, what is your favorite part of Shatterpoint? Maybe part of the system, or like what of Shatterpoint that like, you know what, I love this part.
The one thing that I love the most, I will say this, and I had to think about this for a second. So like the biggest thing from like MCP to Shatterpoint is that list building, right? List building, MCP, you do have to build your list a certain way, especially if you want to play competitively, or even if you're not, even if it's a casual game. If you like, you got to stay within like an affiliation, right? Shatterpoint to me, like with the list building, like you can do random stuff. Like you can play like a Republic list right next to a Empire list, and you'll still kind of be in the fight. Like you can kind of play whoever you want, and it won't be like you won't be like out of the fight. You'll still have fun. The biggest thing, and I don't know if people like this or not, but for me, what I do like is that your miniatures, they stay on the table. Some games your miniatures can just explode and just be done within turn 2.
Yeah.
Right. I've seen that in X-Wing. I've seen that in MCP.
It happens in Warhammer.
In Warhammer. There you go. Shatterpoint, for the most part, you're gonna be able to play with these lovely miniatures that you painted. You get to see them. You get to see them cross swords with the enemy. Cross lightsabers with the enemy. You get to see them. Actually do things instead of just blow up. And for me, I love that. I want to play. I spent all this time painting this stuff. I want to have fun playing it. Right. So that's like the biggest thing for me.
It also still has the mechanic where, so you give the satisfaction to your opponent that he does defeat the unit.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I beat it, and now it's not as powerful as it was before, but you still have the unit. So it's like you're injured, or
and it's less of the alpha strike. A lot of games, the alpha strike come across the board, blow you up. You move your miniatures, they didn't even activate. There is that like wounded characteristic, and like, oh, you wounded them, now the card flips, and now we go into a but it's still has a more of a longevity.
Still what,
game.
80-90% as effective as they were when they flip.
They're almost the same.
It's almost.
It's just like certain prices, like because each ability per character may or may not
cost
the force.
Okay.
That's like your universal currency in the game, and it goes up depending on like the ability and whatever the characters. But there's also ways to play around that. There's also characters that mitigate that to a certain extent. So. Like there's even ways to play around that. But yeah, that's like the only thing. So 80 to 90%, I guess I would say.
But again, it still gives both sides the satisfaction of you still have your unit, and he knows he weakened you a little bit. Right. So,
and you're still in the fight.
Yeah,
you're still in the fight. Which is great.
I have a quick question, really. You've mentioned painting and X-Wing. You said Dexter got you sold on X-Wing because it was pre-painted. You don't have to paint. X-Wing unfortunately goes away, and now you are painting. So can you talk about your hurdle of getting over that, getting over
yeah.
the hump of getting into painting, and
That's actually a great question.
is it something that you enjoy now? Is it a part of the hobby that you actually really like, or is it something that's still a little bit of a maybe not so much? I wish they came pre-painted. So talk about that a little bit.
That's a great question, actually. So yeah, I actually hated even the thought of painting was throwing me off. But knowing me, I like to customize and color, have different crazy colors on my stuff. So I eventually learned how to paint a little bit with X-Wing, right? Just enough to change the colors out a little bit. But it was a slog. For me, it was just, I hated painting, even in X-Wing. Then when MCP came around and I started building that and painting those, I started watching a YouTube video. I'm like, all right, I gotta at least get that. It was Guardians of the Galaxy. That was like my team. I'm a huge Rocket fan. I was like, all right, I gotta at least get them all painted, like the 10 people the 10 characters that I needed. I'm like, so I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna start painting. And I just started. When I started painting, I'm like, okay, for some reason, why is this more fun painting this than it is X-Wing ships? I was totally blown away by how much painting an actual miniature as opposed an actual unpainted miniature that you built from scratch as opposed to a pre-built one, how that changed my mind so much. And now it's one of my favorite things to do. Even my wife, Vanessa, shout out to my wife. She actually, because I do it so often now, that she actually bought me paint actual nice brushes for my paint. So it's
cool.
So it's actually a huge hobby of mine now. I do actually really enjoy it. But even then, I think that hurdle, where people think you're going to paint for a couple hours, multiple hours just to paint a one miniature. There's ways to go around it if you really just want to have something that's kind of table ready, that's nice from right there. I always try to paint my stuff I'm not gonna win any awards painting, but I just like it so that if I'm looking at it from here, it looks good. For me, that's good. And yeah, so that's.
Yeah.
It's
table
now
ready,
a
they call
great
it.
hobby of mine. I really enjoy it. It's it's turning another side of your brain off and opening up another side, and it's nice and relaxing for me.
Hobby,
So,
you bring you have a new passion now. You have hobby side of the game too, where it's that's cool. That's awesome.
Well, I'm glad you've taken that foray in, because I know you really weren't a painter.
I was not.
Yeah, so it just adds to that. It becomes more of a hobby.
Yeah,
it's that full hobby. We talk about that at Warhammer all the time. Yeah. There's different phases, and now that you have a new. I mean, it can be a bit of a time sink, but you said for me, building is very cathartic. I love nothing better than to smell some plastic and some glue and just maybe have some music on, or maybe watch the ball game or the football game. And while I'm built, next thing I know, I'm like, oh, I got 30 guys built. Yeah. This is great.
And luckily, Shatterpoint miniatures have a lot of real estate. They're a little bit scale larger than some of the GW products. So I still get afraid of their lightsabers though, being they're super thin. The fear of their lightsabers. They look fantastic.
I found a workaround for that. By the way, should I?
You want to divulge?
Divulge. Drop some knowledge. Drop some knowledge.
Someone actually posted about this in one of the Discords, but they took the metal brooms, the brooms from that you get at Home Depot or whatever.
Oh, yeah. The wire brush.
Yeah. So you can cut a little bit off, to the length of the lightsaber.
Don't buy the broom. Just go there and cut it.
No. Okay, no, don't do that.
Epidemic at Home Depot's people getting arrested for
why are all these bristles missing? This guy K-Toff. Go ahead.
So what I did was, I would do that. I bought one, cut a bunch off, and then you really have to prime it a lot though, because it doesn't stick, because it's a kind of different
they got
than plastic.
A very smooth.
But now all of my lightsabers, I should say all the ones that have broken off, because almost all of them have broken off, are like that now. So even if you flick it a little bit, it's gonna stay.
It's a little more rigid.
Break. Yeah, but that blew my mind, and I haven't looked back since. So
modeling hack. That's a good one.
You if your lightsaber's breaking Shatterpoint,
there you go. I like that one.
Go buy a push broom, and you'll be good for about 15 years. Yeah. Or one hobby store's worth of, you know what, you can set up a little shop in front of the store. It's an Etsy shop. I got custom lightsabers.
Dude, little pre-painted. You want a purple one? You want a green one?
Coming soon to Red Seal Gaming, custom lightsabers.
Yeah, by Toff. I'm going to segue back to X-Wing, because I do have some X-Wing questions. So when we went from 1.0 to 2.0, because you were there and you played, what was your favorite change from 1.0 to 2.0?
So 1.0 to 2.0, I think it was the way that a lot of the abilities worked. In 1.0, And I never played 1.0 competitively. But 1.0, there was things that in 1.0 like were just busted too.
Like twin laser turrets.
Yeah, there you go. TLT.
They were like, auto take. Yeah, they were auto include always.
Yeah. And 2.0, they made all the points like they didn't like 1.0. They put the ship.
Them, right?
Yeah, they printed like the ship value and whatnot on the cards on the chits. So it was stuck there. You know, you couldn't do anything about it. In 2.0, they made it so that you could push and pull these levers. You know, like everything was all app based, which is super cool. Like the meta was never like it. I wouldn't say completely solved, but if it did, they would change it. You know, like it always kept everything so fresh.
Now it's points based, right? Instead of changing like an upgrade slot that has to vanish.
Yeah, and that was like the coolest thing to me. I'm like, wait, I can just like you know, I can build this, but then in like a couple months, it could be something completely different. You know, like if there's something that's so busted, like competitively, it'll change. You know, they'll fix it. They can hot fix it. You know, just like they would patch like a video game. You know. So that was super cool from 1.0 to 2.0.
So then the next segue is what's your favorite upgrade or not upgrade? What was your favorite transition from 2.0 to 2.5, which is really the FFG to AMG?
Yeah. So this may be a hot take.
Here we go.
Oh my God. Are you guys ready for this? You guys sitting down for this hot take?
Down.
Let's
make this happen.
I love the scenarios. So that's.
Do you love salvage though? Because that's where everybody's going. Do you love salvage?
I genuinely, I joke about salvage all the time, but I'm fine with it. It's fine. Cool. I know Shane. Shout out to Shane.
Because that was just in the Discord. I saw that.
You were they were still talking about it today.
Yeah,
like
to this day.
Very good.
But yeah, the scenario play actually like adds this whole other layer for me. Adds this whole other layer for me to play the game. Like before, you know, in 1.0 and 2.0, it was a lot of straight dogfighting, and I know there's some people that didn't like that, and that's fine. But I actually enjoyed it to a certain extent. So like I really like that they put that in there.
Cool.
For sure.
Yeah, and it was always, for me, it was on that point too, is always, I wanted more.
Yeah.
It would have been like over the life of how long they had it, some more scenarios instead of just sticking with the same ones would have, I'd make them maybe palatable and feel better, but.
Yeah, but I mean, like there was even some, like one of the scenarios, Scramble was like, initially it was like, not great, but then they fixed it.
Yeah, they changed it. So
like, is it perfect? No. Like but there's always room for improvement, and the way that it is, I truly do enjoy it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And then my last question involving Xing would be, what is your least favorite change from maybe any of the transition? Which one did you just be like, you know what, I don't like this at all? 1.0, 2.0, 2.0 to 2.5.
So 2.0, I feel like 2.0 was like the gold standard for X-Wing. Yeah. Because that, like I said, even though I did like the scenarios, I feel like 2.0 was like
the High Republic of X-Wing.
Yes, exactly. Just because of like how easy it was to learn the game, play the game competitively too. It was simple, and a lot of people like that, you know, because you're just killing ships, you know, which is great.
List building was dynamic, and
so I have no notes for 1.0 to 2.0. 2.0 to 2.5, I was like not that keen on like the bump rules, because I felt like it ended up in the long run, especially competitively, it depowered a lot of like the lower initiative ships. And then like it gave a little bit too much agency to certain things. So that's neither here nor there. But yeah, that would be my one big thing between 2.0 to 2.5, and the point system too.
And the point going to that 20-point threshold,
going from 200 to 20 was like it's hard because that's less levers that you can push pull, you know, to balance things.
Yeah, versatility and list building just seemed like it.
There's only so many factions that could have a 2-point ship, and that was always the problem. Like you wound up into that.
Right. Like there's some ships that really should be like 2.5 or 3.5, but they're just not.
Yeah.
They just don't
or
have that.
3 because you're in a higher threshold, like 40 points.
The list granularity was much slimmer in 2.5, and that was like one of the other big things.
Okay.
But yeah.
Cool.
Well, I think that's about it. We
Do you have any
touched
other
about
questions?
anything? No. I mean, I know Toff pretty well, and the community knows Toff pretty well, and I think we got everything we needed out of him. We found a little bit of his history.
Happy to have Toff.
Yeah. Chris, you got something?
What would you like to see in the next 2 years from Shatterpoint? If you were the man behind the curtain, what are some things that you would like to see? What are some things that you think would improve the game? I mean, they're going to put out product, obviously. They're going to put out, the new hotness.
Yeah.
But What are some things that you think that they could do to improve the game that you would like to see going forward?
That's a great question. So one thing, and this is going to touch on the competitive aspect of it, is the way that they do tiebreakers and the way that they do the initial setup of the game. I feel like they could do better. Like the way that the initial setup of the game is, you, especially in competitive play, you show your two primaries first before even rolling dice for initiative. I feel like they should give player agency a little bit more in that aspect, and let you be able to roll for initiative first, and then you at least can pick and choose like what your primaries will be depending on like the mission scenario, and depending on
your opponent's list.
Your opponent's list, yeah. And the other thing is like the way that the missions are. I feel like I would like a mission that wasn't. So in Marvel Crisis Protocol, and the Marvel MCP guys will know this, like there's secures and extracts, right? So there's like zone control and there's things that you pick up. I would love to see a mission for Shatterpoint where it's picking something up and as
interaction
with
like
control.
terrain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably been the biggest weakness in the game, especially early on, was just a lack of variety of missions.
Yeah, we had shifting priorities, which is like the base set one for like, what, a year?
A year. It was a year before we got anything new. Yeah, so that was definitely, they were a little slower on that end.
Yeah. But I mean, like they really are coming out with like the last three, the three newest, I should say, missions have definitely felt different, but something much more fluid, like an extract type of mission, would be very, very cool.
Cool,
for sure.
Any particular character you want to see done? Is there someone that's not in game right now that you're like, because I know Palpatine with 2 Royal Guards, I'm coming back to play.
Please.
I know Chris will play.
Please bring Ray into the game, please.
Well, you know what? So the sequel trilogy's been devoid of, ever since X-Wing, really, sequel trilogy hasn't been in any of the games.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Except for Star Wars Unlimited, right? You guys got that.
Well, let's.
But that's like a whole.
I've had that argument. Like we always talk about. Like, well, I'm not going to have this argument, but we are. That like there was always things with X-Wing. Like there was properties that like, oh well, we can't go into the legends, and like we can't bring back the Kimagola. And when I saw a Kimagola on an Unlimited card, I'm like, dude. So you get the okay for that right away. Right.
Exactly.
So I just, we're not going to go into the X-Wing rant, but I just feel like there's so much more that's just, there's going to be a great movie one day, and we're going to nerd out. We're going to go to like the cinema. We're going to be like 80, and we're going to hear the history of why this failed. And there was so much more behind it than just what we were told. But regardless, there's so much stuff in Unlimited that, is covering all the errors. I don't know. I mean, I think Shatterpoint would be great. I mean, First Order Stormtroopers, Rey, Kylo Ren, Knights of Ren.
Ray, Finn, the rest of them, that would be
Poe Dameron. You could do like just.
Yeah, I would also I would like to see like a Boba Fett primary too, because he's only there as secondary right now. Yeah, like have him like a Book of Boba Fett. We joke around about this in some of the other Shatterpoint discords, but they were like Boba Fett with Fennec would obviously be like the primary and the secondary, and then we were saying who would be the bikers?
The bikers, the little punks that he teams up with.
The little Power Ranger bikers.
Yeah.
If they don't have a spin attack when you just rolls around and does the gun attack.
Or the Gamorreans would be cool.
Oh, dude. Really Gamorreans would be fantastic.
Cool.
Give me Boba Fett on the back of a Rancor. That's what I want.
Ooh.
I mean, yes. Like,
give me like monstrosity shadow. Now we're talking.
That would be so different.
Chrysanthemum?
Oh, that would be great too. I love Black Chrysanthemum.
There's actually there's a lot you can do. It's just
give me Afra. Dr. Afra
too. Yeah.
She doesn't fight anything. She just kind of goes around. And maybe she steals. Maybe she picks up the points and they have to chase her.
Yeah, I mean, she can hack points. Imagine hacking points.
I think Chris would be spending way too much time fondling that model.
That's awesome, dude.
I wouldn't blame him.
He just wants to paint it really well. That's all.
Yeah, like super well.
I wouldn't want to. Honestly, I would not want to paint her little.
The tattoo.
The tattoo.
That would be tough.
Nightmare. But yeah. But that'd be cool. I mean, there's room. There's room.
Oh,
they just gotta
like a lot.
We'll just hope that it doesn't have the same problems that X-Wing had. That they just go and use whatever's out there.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. But there's the possibilities are there, obviously, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it because they're obviously doing a lot of development for it. So
well,
it's only a matter of time.
Thank you for your community support and your community growth and.
Any events coming up for Shatterpoint in the near future?
So we're eyeing a possible date in August. I think it may or may not be August.
Which is
SG
good.
date, August 10th,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
2025?
We'll confirm it on the Discord for sure.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
just got to check the dates with releases and so on and so
Yeah,
forth.
I
But
was just-
but it's been basically every 2 months.
Yeah, every 2 months.
Every 2 months, and then we have the weekly play in the store as well too. So
Yeah. So right.
And some new terrain,
We're definitely
possibly,
going-
right? So you said there's possibly some new terrain boards coming
possibility
out,
of new terrain. Thanks to some of my other friends.
homemade stuff. So let's
Yep.
go.
But yeah, I'm gonna start to actually try to make a more consistent day at RSG. It's just because of my work schedule and everything. It's been hard to really set on a date because sometimes I'm off. There's a couple weeks where I'm off Wednesdays, but and then after that I'm off no Wednesdays. But I'm gonna make more of a concerted effort, especially for my scheduling, to try to have. I'm gonna try to make it Wednesdays. We're gonna bring Star Wars back to Wednesdays.
Ooh, interesting. Bring Star Wars
back to
Star Wars. It was our X-Wing. People don't know X-Wing Day was Wednesdays.
Yeah,
that was our.
So we're gonna I was gonna make it like a because there are still people who do want to play X-Wing.
Yeah.
I was just at a tournament recently this past weekend because I did a doubleheader. I did X-Wing tournament on Saturday, and then we did Shatterpoint at another store. But then Shatterpoint was this.
That's a discussion that we often have too. Like, just because a game is no longer supported by the primary, it's still a complete game.
Yeah.
And now the community has the authority over it now, and they could fix the things they wanted to fix.
Yeah.
So you can still play the game, but I just noticed that for some reason gamers have this like disease where they're like, oh no, it's the they just completely. Especially if you probably own almost every mini, multiples of, right?
Except
So
for
you
Empire.
have. Yeah, well, who the hell wants those guys anyway?
Get out.
Get out! Get out!
Straight to jail.
That's all I have.
As I hide
So
behind
I don't
the-
know why. I mean, I've done it myself. When 8th edition Warhammer. Oh, there we go. We're bringing trooper.
I'm in trouble.
He just reinforce. You see, you made a comment. Now he's got to reinforce. He's got to reinforce it.
Blast
So-
them. Sorry.
So
No, but like-
when these things happen, people just kind of like walk away from the games. He's bringing out the bad guy stuff. So I
But,
got
like,
I got to grab I got to grab some good guys.
That's a red Kyber in there. Don't worry.
I got to grab some good guy stuff here. Yeah,
Please
the
do.
Jedi crystals.
But yeah, I mean, like look, as long as the community is willing to keep playing, I will be there for the community.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Rain or shine.
Yeah. And it's great. It doesn't take up. There's not a lot of terrain. It's pretty easy.
No.
It travels well. So
And like we're one of the very few me and one other person are one of the very few TOs in this area in like the New Jersey, New York area that are still doing it.
Yeah.
And so we're still alive and kicking. I mean, we're gonna keep playing.
It's just hard. It's just hard to get newer players in because I
Yeah,
can't get them
unfortunately,
product.
yeah.
No,
now.
they're
No,
going
so-
third party now for stuff.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
but
so-
when I feel like when they start like releasing like newer content, quote unquote, like we'll hopefully get a little bit more engagement. But like, you can't bank on that, obviously.
yeah, the store can.
Yeah.
But there's still ways to run tournaments and stuff.
yeah.
at the
Yeah,
store.
no, we can still run
Run
events.
tournaments. Yep.
Give them place. We'll give them a place to play.
Yeah.
We'll give Andrew his epic. I know he wants
we
it.
could.
And Mike Actual, we're gonna give you
Yeah.
the yacht club is gonna come
the yacht
out.
club is coming
Yacht
out.
club, yacht
We could-
club,
2400 yacht club.
yacht club, yacht club.
Yeah, we could be the outer rim for them to
Oh,
come
yes,
to come and
that's
play.
right. 'Cause
X-Wing.
The hive of scum and villainy.
The hive
Yes.
of scum and villainy.
Because X-Wing Alliance they've incorporated Epic, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
Epic has
Yeah, they
been
have.
like they've given it its window, and I know what is it? Infinite Arenas has had some Epic standard loadout builds
Standard
and
loadout
stuff.
builds.
So
We've,
like
they've released new standard loadout builds for like Resistance and First Order
First
as well. They released the Mandalorian and one Naboo.
Yep.
The Mando ship as a SL as well for Scum, so
Excellent.
that's cool. I flew that at our squadron champs.
Cool.
So they can come and fly at Red Scum Gaming.
Red Scum
yes,
Gaming.
at the heart of
New Jersey.
the heart of the empire.
Well, Toff, as always, we appreciate all your efforts in the store, joining us on the podcast, and we look forward to you being around and playing us anything Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't look forward to you rolling D8s against me.
No. Well, you're just bad because he just, he stole your money in Outer Rim.
Did.
If you,
Turn one stole 5K.
Yeah,
I started with 6.
It was
you
an
stole 5.
honest robbery. Though.
you're
very nicely.
For those that are watching this episode and you haven't watched the other episode, Toff joins us for a game of Outer Rim, and he immediately just started stealing all Chris's money.
How do you play this game?
Yeah.
Oh, give me 5K.
Yeah.
He got rimmed.
He got rimmed. Get rimmed. Get rimmed. Toff, thanks for joining us. As always, Sal, anything to say as we leave?
No, just fly.
Just
fly.
fly.
Baby, fly.
Just fly. Just rim, just fly. Christopher, anything to add?
Fly casual.
Oh, there it is. The fly casual.
No shields, all guts.
Toff, anything to add as we say goodbye?
No, I mean,
See you
thanks
soon.
for having me, guys.
You're welcome.
you
You're
know,
welcome,
having
Toff.
me
We
for a
love
second
you.
time here.
Well, we're scraping the bottom of guests here, so we do what we have to do.
There's no one else that wants to come. So.
The second one, we're scraping.
We're
the bottom.
scraping the bottom. That's it. This will be the last episode of Community League.
Long live Tophocles.
Yeah, we have plenty more coming. Plenty more community leaders coming. Thanks for joining us. And as always, never stop gaming.